Happening this week, a trial many grieving parents and students and community members have been bracing for. Nearly a year and a half after the mass shooting at Appalachian High School, the trial for the accused gunman's father begins. We are there as jury selection gets underway.
And temperature is going to head up into spring-like territory this week. We'll tell you if that will last all the way into next weekend.
And as the Winter Olympics shines on in Italy, one historic opera house is stealing the spotlight off of the ice. We take you inside the treasured cultural landmark taking center stage. Hi, thank you so much for joining us here on 11Alive Plus at 12:30. I'm Faith Jesse. We begin in Hall County, where jury selection is underway right now in the trial of Colin Gray. He's the father of Colin Gray, the teenager accused of opening fire at Appalachian High School in 2024, killing 4 people. 11Alive's Seth Haynock has more.
Yeah, the judge this morning calling it a change of venue, also telling jurors that this case will require more than the typical jury duty. Such a high-profile case that jury selection is actually happening now here in Hall County instead of Borough County, where that school shooting happened in 2024. Jury selection resuming about an hour ago. We know Colin Gray is inside of the courthouse. He was wearing a Navy suit, looking down, not really making eye contact. The state says Gray is facing a maximum of 265 years. The plan is to get through as many jurors as possible today and probably extend until Tuesday as well. The indictment charges Gray with 29 counts, including second-degree murder, alleging he knowingly allowed his son, Colin Gray, access to a gun despite warnings that the teen posed danger. Authorities say his son, who was 14 years old at the time, opened fire inside Appalachian High School on September 4th, 2024. 2 students and 2 teachers pictured here were killed, 9 others wounded. And as I mentioned, this jury selection, it could take multiple days. We know the court is already planning for things to continue until Tuesday. They say right now they are experiencing a high volume of other jury trials as well, all happening here in Hall County. I'm Stephanie Chanock, 11Alive News.
Let's get a check of your 11Alive weather impact forecast. Meteorologist Melissa Nord joining us. Melissa, it's February, but it's certainly feeling a little like spring out there.
Finally. Finally. Yeah, I think all of us really deserve it. January was a very cold month for us. We had 3 back-to-back weekends of winter weather. Now, coming off the heels of a crisp start to the weekend, those temperatures have been warming up, and today going to be the warmest day that we've seen in about a month since the end of last month. All right. Let's take a look outside right now. Bright blue skies over Midtown Atlanta. We can also see that bright sunshine overlooking the skyline from our camera in downtown Decatur. Of course, we don't have the spring greenery on the trees quite yet, as it is for early February, but temperatures are not so bad outside. It was a crisp and chilly start, but now we're finally starting to see that cold air being scoured out as winds become a little bit more southerly. So we're up to 52 in Atlanta. It's not warm, it's just not frigid cold outside, but look at the warm air to the south and west of the city. 57 in Peachtree City and Carrollton, 64 in LaGrange, and it's that really mild air that's going to be pushing into the rest of the metro as we make our way through the afternoon today. So temperatures right now running a few degrees and up to 10 degrees warmer than yesterday at this time. Clouds to our south. Sunshine will prevail through the afternoon. So pretty nice afternoon for us. Partly cloudy, mostly sunny skies out there. Temperature topping out about 66 degrees today for a high temperature. Yesterday we hit 61, so we're going to run about 5 degrees warmer than that. It could get even warmer as we head through the week. We'll talk about those numbers ahead.
We look forward to it. Love that warm up. Hey, let's talk about this. Atlanta Falcons rookie James Pearce Jr. He is now out of jail. And the star edge rusher, he bonded out last night in Miami. Pearce, he faces 5 felonies, including 2 counts of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon and 1 count of aggravated stalking. Authorities say that these charges, they stem from a Saturday night dispute with his girlfriend, who is Los Angeles Sparks player Rickea Jackson. In a statement, Pearce's attorney says in part, "We look forward to working with the state's attorney's office and fully investigating this case and uncovering the truth." Mr. Pearce maintains his innocence. Well, today we do have some new information about a deadly shooting in DeKalb County at the Wynn Apartments on Meadow Glen Village Lane. Police have now identified this victim as 17-year-old Adrian Navarrete Garcia. You're taking a look at some video from the scene overnight. You see this car right here, a wrecked Lexus with the windows shattered, shell casings scattered across the area. A second victim was also found shot but conscious on Aztec Road. Right now, investigators are looking into if this shooting stemmed from a nearby robbery. We do have a live update on this investigation coming up on 11Alive News at 4 o'clock. Well, a federal judge has ordered the unsealing of the FBI warrant used in the raid on the Fulton County elections hub just a week and a half ago. Agents seized nearly 700 boxes of 2020 election documents. And Fulton County's motion to get those records back was also unsealed in this filing. Fulton County officials, they argued that the government cannot prosecute a case under the law cited in the search warrant because the statute of limitations has passed. We know that the government has until the end of the day tomorrow to unseal that warrant. The murder trial of Edric Fost is underway again today. He's accused of killing UGA law student Tara Baker more than 20 years ago. Well, last week we heard testimony from Baker's friend and a retired GBI analyst who tested hair samples following her death. Now to this, an escaped inmate from DeKalb County now back in custody. Investigators tracked him more than 100 miles away to Cherokee County. Deputies say Christian Joel Marcos Cortez, he broke out of the DeKalb County jail around 4:45 yesterday morning. They sent us this photo that was taken minutes after his arrest. Cortez was being held on child molestation and child exploitation charges. Deputies say he escaped by walking out of a jail door and jumping the fence. Deputies say that they caught Cortez after receiving a tip that he could be in the Ackworth area. They are now taking him back to DeKalb County. Well, we do have some breaking news at this hour. We're learning new details about an overturned tractor trailer on I-75 in Clayton County. Emergency officials tell us one person was taken to the hospital. Our Danielle Moss busy following this for us. Danielle, the roads near that area shut down. What we know at this hour?
Exactly, Faye. That's something that we have been continuing to monitor. This is a picture from earlier this afternoon. You can see the semi there on its side. You can see emergency officials there. It is on its driver's side. Now, we did make a call. We do not know if the driver was injured, but this is a live look at to what's happening right now. They are working to get the trailer part towed out of here. They just moved the tractor out of here in the last 5 minutes. You can see that there is a backhoe of some sort. They are trying to clean up whatever was spilled. They do not know exactly what this tractor trailer was carrying. However, it could be a while before we see this completely cleared. In fact, we're continuing to watch the traffic back up on I-75 northbound. So if you have to travel in Clayton County near Forest Park, this accident was on I-75 northbound. It is heading right towards Forest Park. I will say that your best alternate route is to get off and take Upper Riverdale Road, and that will kind of put you back on track, and you can get around it and pass it past Frontage Road on up. So right now we're continuing to watch to see exactly what happened, if that driver was okay, who was taken to the hospital, and get some more details. Traffic's not too bad in that area, Faith, which is good news, but as the afternoon goes along, we can't expect it to get a little bit worse.
Hey, let's take a live look right now from Milan. It's nighttime there, but the world's best athletes, they are competing in the Winter Olympics. Team USA so far securing 2 gold medals in the women's downhill event and the figure skating team event. Well, from the competitive venues to the culture surrounding these games, one iconic opera house is taking center stage off of the ice and the snow. And 11Alive Cheryl Preheim, she's taking us there.
A lot of people ask Olympians what's on their playlist, what gets them hyped up for competition. You're not going to hear many answer opera, but opera is part of the Italian culture, deeply rooted here in Italy, and one of the most famous opera houses in the world is right here. It's the Scala Opera House.
Hearing opera on the streets is part of the magic of Milan. And there's magic inside the opera house. Built nearly 250 years ago, the world's best opera composers and singers have performed here. Today, opera singers audition for the chance to sing in one of the world's premier opera houses. It seats about 2,000 people. under a giant chandelier filled with hundreds of lights.
It's nearly 400 lights, and it's really huge.
The rooms and opera house have been updated over time. Modern productions with a style of music started in Italy, still influencing the world today.
Opera is certainly very telling about Italian culture, about arts, about living style, and also about passions. Opera has been probably the most important contribution, the most worldwide known contribution of Italian culture to the world. Most people who know Italian, who speak Italian in the world, they do that because of opera. And every night in every town in the world, there is a place, there is an opera house where Italian is being sung, thanks to opera itself.
They do 14 full-blown operas every year, but they have all kinds of different concerts here every night, and they're almost always sold out. Reporting in Milan, Cheryl Preheim, 11Alive News.
So much fun. We look forward to seeing continued coverage. Hey, coming up here, lawmakers are back in Washington with just days to avoid a Homeland Security shutdown. The changes Democrats are pushing for with immigration enforcement.
Hey. Yeah, no, Chroma's great. So plenty of sunshine outside right now. Temperatures, though, taking a little while to warm up into the 60s. We're currently at lunchtime, still 52 in Atlanta. What I want to talk about are the winds. We had winds overnight coming out of the east and the northeast. They're now beginning to shift and become more southerly. That south wind will help to scour out this cooler air, which is still stuck in northeast Georgia. That's why we're seeing numbers significantly warmer in LaGrange and Thomaston and Carrollton than what they are in Atlanta and what they really are in Gainesville, Athens and Clayton. So a little cool air wedge built in overnight last night. Now the sunshine and that warmer air with a south wind is going to scour out that cool factor. You can kind of see we've got a little front to our south that's been stalled out. You can see that easterly wind, but we'll see through the afternoon that warmer air sliding in here, and that will help to warm us up significantly this afternoon, a few degrees warmer than yesterday, even at 60 in Jackson, Little Rock, 62 in Nashville right now. You can see that cool air coming down from the mountains and then whipping around. So we've got the much warmer air in northwest Georgia than where we are standing right now in Atlanta and Athens. But it's this warm air to our west that we're focusing on the next couple of days that's coming into play. Jets moving a lot further north. That sends temperatures up into the upper 60s, close to 70 degrees even. It won't last forever. We'll turn a little bit cooler at the end of the week and then track increasing rain chances as we head in towards the weekend. So this afternoon, temperatures are climbing up from the 50s into the 60s. We'll go with mostly sunny skies the rest of the day today. A little cooler in northeast Georgia, where we're generally going to be in the mid and upper 50s. But for this time of year, even that is above what's considered average for the North Georgia mountains. Mid 60s in Atlanta would put us nearly 10 degrees above normal for this time of year, and close to 70 there, Carrollton and LaGrange. Highs will be even warmer tomorrow, up to 71 degrees, mid 60s Wednesday and Thursday, and a little cooler as we kick off the weekend. But over the weekend, we will get a resurgence of warm and more humid air coming in ahead of our next cold front that will arrive on Sunday. So forecast track, you're going to see a lot of sunshine here today. Few more clouds as we warm things up tomorrow, and then Wednesday, a weak weather system coming in with some rain chances that backs those temperatures off a bit by Thursday and Friday. So here's the forecast track. You can see the sunshine today. We're up in the 60s this afternoon. Clouds will start to build in overnight tonight. Even though we have some clouds around Tuesday morning, I think they'll generally thin out a bit for the afternoon. As long as they do so, we're up around 70 degrees on your Tuesday. That warm, humid air really coming into play ahead of a cold front on Wednesday. That brings some early morning showers even before you wake up first thing on Wednesday morning. Here they are at 3:30 on forecast track. Then we'll push out to that morning commute. Kind of some scattered showers around, especially north of the I-20 corridor. Those showers will work their way through the morning and then will fade away by the ending of Wednesday afternoon. Now that system coming in Wednesday doesn't bring a ton of rain with it. We're talking maybe 1/4 of an inch in the metro. A few isolated spots could hit 1/2 inch in far north Georgia, but there is more rain coming as we look towards the weekend, and that could be a much higher rain amount depending on how things shake. So I want to show you that because we're looking ahead to that on the European model. Here's the forecast track for Wednesday, showing you our few showers around Wednesday morning. This is a nuisance category event with some rain showers, dampening roadways out there. Into Thursday, Friday, even the start of the weekend, we're mostly dry. Couple isolated showers come into play, but it's nothing to move your plans over. But Sunday will be the day that you might want to keep those plans a little more nimble and flexible. Here's the forecast track. The European model showing showers and even some isolated thunderstorms coming in there during the day on Sunday. The timing of that and how our temperatures end up warming up all goes into how strong these thunderstorms could be. Right now, we feel they would mostly be below severe criteria, but there will be some strong winds about a mile up in the atmosphere. So that's something we'll be watching that could bring down a few isolated gusty winds. 7-day forecast. Nice warm up on the way to start the week. Temperature low 70s tomorrow. 60s on the way for Wednesday with scattered showers, especially the first half of the day. And then watching those rain chances climbing back up over the weekend as well.
Hey, developing right now, we have confirmed that ICE now owns a large property and warehouse in Social Circle. This is something that we've been telling you about for months. These plans for an ICE detention center in Social Circle, nearly 50 miles east of Atlanta, as you see right here on this map. We just reported last week that the property was officially in escrow. City officials tell us that they have not been asked for any input, but they do warn that the facility could triple the town's population overnight and that the infrastructure simply cannot handle the strain on water, sewer, and public safety. City leaders say that DHS has already begun utility reviews, with housing potentially starting as early as April. We do also understand that Congressman Mike Collins given some words today, and we are going to bring those to you on later editions of 11Alive. Happening today, lawmakers are returning to Washington with just a few days to find a funding solution for the Department of Homeland Security or see the agency shut down. Democrats are demanding reforms to federal immigration enforcement. Reed Binion reports.
The ball is in the court right now of the Republicans.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries ahead of a crucial deadline for funding the Department of Homeland Security, saying Democrats are standing firm by their demands.
Dramatically reform the way in which ICE and other immigration enforcement agencies are conducting themselves.
Jeffries saying if that doesn't happen, a DHS shutdown would be the fault of Republicans.
They're making the explicit decision to shut down the Coast Guard, shut down FEMA, and shut down TSA.
Lawmakers have just days to find a DHS funding solution or see the agency shut down. The deadline is Friday. Democrats' list of requirements for a bill to fund DHS and reform ICE include requiring immigration enforcement agents to wear body cameras and remove face masks, among other conditions. Certain Republican lawmakers have indicated openness to some of those demands.
When I was mayor of Miami-Dade County, we put body cameras on all Miami-Dade County police. Putting what agency you're from, I have no problem with that.
But other demands are seeing more pushback from Republicans.
A lot of times those face masks are there to protect the ICE agent themselves.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Missing Friday's deadline would not cause a full government shutdown, as the deadline is for an agreement to provide funding just for DHS. We're going to stay on top of this and stay with us. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back. Youth sports are growing in Metro Atlanta, and 6 local school districts are getting more than $6 million in funding from the Arthur M. Blank Foundation. And as Joe Ripley reports, the money will help offset costs and give kids more options when it comes to playing sports in school.
while the guys hoop on the court.
Girls can do just as much things as boys can do.
Casey McClam finds success as a wide receiver playing flag football.
I always like to try something new, and I felt like flag football was that new thing for me.
More than 300 Georgia high schools now have flag football programs. Gwinnett County Public Schools piloted the first program in 2018. Athletics Director Jason Holcomb says a partnership with the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation led to creating middle school flag teams, allowing coaches to create a pipeline for high school sports.
And we're just excited for this opportunity now to be able to really reach our middle school students, to keep them engaged and get them going at an earlier age. The more they're involved, the more they sustain, the more they attend school at a high rate, and they go on to do great things.
Chris Millman with AMBSC calls the latest $6 million investment a response to cost barriers that often prevent access to youth sports.
Putting up lights at certain fields. We did that by alleviating costs for a middle school soccer program. We created a middle school flag football program across all of their schools that will start this upcoming fall.
The added funding will help Steven Estrella pursue his dreams of becoming a professional star goalkeeper.
It just means more practice, more experience for me. You know, I'm very grateful for all the things that people have done for me in my education and my development for the sport I love.
Back in the gym, Casey McClam has more highlights on her mind and in her future.
I like the confidence that people get after playing, and I like how brave I feel after scoring a touchdown or pulling a flag.
Joe Ripley, 11Alive News.
And our thanks to Joe for that. Gwinnett County plans to have flag football available to all 30 of its middle schools starting in the fall. And we have a breakdown of where that funding will go on 11alive.com. Well, at this hour, we are following some breaking news in Gainesville, where Browns Bridge Road at Pearl Nicks Parkway is closed because we have reports that a plane has crashed. Their officials say that a single-engine plane conducted an emergency landing right onto the roadway, crashing into multiple vehicles. Minor injuries reported here. We do have a crew headed to that scene, but you see those images coming out of Gainesville right now. We have a crew headed there. Stay with us. We'll be right back with a final check of your forecast.
It's nice to get some spring-like warmth